Hey YouTubers, I'm coming to you today with what I believe is going to be my final accessory video for my 2025 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition. I say final because I may see something tomorrow I decide I just got to have, but there were certain accessories I had on my previous Ridgelines that I knew I wanted, and a couple others that I recently discovered and I went ahead and put on here, so I want to fill you in and catch you up to date. Now, first and foremost, I got my tonneau cover. Now, I knew with the first Ridgeline I wanted a tonneau cover. I researched everything that was out there and decided that the BakFlip cover was the best fit for me. Well, when I got my second Ridgeline, I again looked at everything on the marketplace and decided the BakFlip MX4 was the best option. Well, Ridgeline number 3, I looked at everything on the market. I looked at soft covers, I looked at rolling covers, folding covers, rigid covers, everything out there, and ended up with another BakFlip MX4 because it just seems to fit my needs better than anything else. And I'm going to do 2 other videos. I've done one video already showing a few tricks for installing this that will help reduce the amount of water that gets in the bed. I'm going to do a video review of this by itself, and I'm going to do a video review of fitment issues you may run into and how to fix them. So those will all be separate. I do want to go ahead and give a couple of measurements because every time I do a BakFlip video, folks ask me questions about it. So here's a couple of quick measurements for you. Measuring from the ridge on the top of the bed to the lowest part of the BakFlip, which is going to be your latch right here, you have 14 3/4 inches clearance. All right, measuring from the top of these ridges to the underside of the BakFlip, you have 16 inches of clearance. Now, the other thing folks ask is, does the BakFlip interfere with the opening of the trunk lid? It does reduce the opening somewhat, but it's not a dramatic amount. Let me go ahead and measure that for you. Okay, with the cover completely closed, I open the trunk lid and I've got 16 inches of opening. A lot of times I do this because I know what I need to get in or out of here is small and it's quick and easy. If I flip back one section, now I have 22 3/4 inches clearance. If I go ahead and flip back 3 sections, I now have almost 23 inches of clearance. So that gives you an idea of how much you can open the trunk lid before it makes contact with the rails for the BakFlip. Now, as far as I know, virtually all semi-rigid covers are going to require that you install rails on the side of your Ridgeline bed, and so this is going to be an issue with virtually every cover out there unless you go with a soft cover or you go with a one-piece clamshell cover. So to give you an idea, if you don't have a tape measure handy, you'll notice that the trunk lid stops right in the middle of that bed light right there. And to be honest, the bed lights aren't much help in lighting the trunk anyway. And so my other accessory that I've had in my previous Ridgeline I knew I would want on this one is I installed lights on the underside of the trunk lid. Of course, it's a bright sunny day now, so you can't really tell, but these suckers are really bright. And what I did is I wired them into this light here on the side so that whenever that light comes on, these come on. So every time I open the trunk, I've got plenty of illumination. Now, some of you are going to say, why not put a motion detection light on here that's battery powered? Well, I tried that on my previous Ridgeline. I bought ones that were powered by AA batteries, and I forgot to change the batteries and they corroded. I bought ones that were rechargeable, and it seems like every time I really needed them, they were dead and needed recharging, and I got tired of that nonsense. So the lights themselves cost $9.99 on Amazon, and you need one long piece of wire. I like to solder things, so soldering gun. You'll see it all in the video. I made a separate video on installing these. So it's a one-time thing. It's a pain in the neck to do, but I've got lights in the trunk that will work every single time I open the trunk until for the life of the truck. And so I'm done. I got plenty of light. I don't have to fool with anything. I think this is a better solution. Okay, so we talked about the MX4 tonneau cover. We talked about the trunk lights. There's a couple of other accessories I was going to show you, but I just thought of two other things that might be helpful. So, if you own a pickup truck, you need one of these. Now, if you already know what this is, then you know what I'm talking about. This thing's essential. If you don't know what this is a load bar. And how this works is you put this across the bed of your truck, you expand it out, and then you ratchet it until it's wedged tightly against the sides of your truck bed, and it restricts your cargo from moving around. So what you can do with this is you can put cargo up against the front of the bed, put this in and wedge it in behind it, and it keeps it from shifting around. Or what I like to do, I put this back here. I put my cargo I'm carrying, usually a suitcase or something like that, a box, right back here, and trap it between the bar and the tailgate, and it's right here where I can get to it easily. And I picked this up at Harbor Freight for about 18 bucks, and I don't know how I ever got along without one, so I highly recommend getting one. Okay, now I have a lot of straps and bungee cords in the trunk, but more than once I've put cargo in the truck bed and then realized, oh crap, all my bungee cords and straps are in the trunk. So what I've done is here in our little compartment on the side, I found this little bag that fits in there just perfectly, and I don't remember where I got this. I'm sorry, I can't give you a link to it, but you can find some kind of a utility bag somewhere. You know, go to Home Depot, they've got them. If nothing else, even a bank bag, a deposit bag will work. But I have a number of bungee cords in here and a couple of very small tie-down straps, and this has saved me more than once when I've forgotten to get them out of the trunk before putting cargo in. I also have a 2-prong to 3-prong adapter for the AC here, so again I've got something handy without having to empty cargo out of my trunk, so I recommend that. I was on Amazon one day looking for something else, and this popped up in my feed. I thought these were nice looking little dress up for the window switches, and you get a set of 4 for each door. They're stainless steel. They have a black vinyl wrap on it that matches the black trim on the Ridgeline perfectly, and they were very inexpensive. I think it was 30 bucks for the set, and they're just peel and stick, and I thought they looked really nice, and I thought, why not? I do like that it's a very thin piece of stainless steel that matches the contours of the factory plastic piece perfectly. A lot of these I've seen in the past are just flat pieces that are kind of thick and stick on top, and so this really does look factory once it's in place, and it's holding up fine so far. I haven't done anything special. I just kind of go on about my business, and I don't see any scratches showing up. If it does deteriorate over time, they just pop right off, so no biggie. Like I said, I wasn't planning to buy that, but I saw them and thought they looked nice. So there's another accessory option for you, and I'll put a link to these down below the video. Okay, the last accessory I added was this little Black Edition badge right here. Now Honda chose to put a badge on the back of the Trail Sport, but not the Black Edition for some reason. And they did put a Black Edition badge on the grill. There's Black Edition stitching on the headrest, but the tailgate is kind of blank. And I actually thought it needed a little something back here. And so rather than debadging my truck, I've added one. This was on Amazon. It came from Germany, so it took a week or two to get here. I think it was $16, and I'll put a link to it down below the video. But I feel like it makes the tailgate look a little nicer. And I know some of you are going to leave comments, why don't I buy the stickers to black in the Ridgeline name? I'm debating it. I don't know. I kind of like the clean look of just having it that way, but I may add some down the road. Like I say, I got a feeling I'm not done accessorizing. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe.